I move to priority 2, reaching the last mile. Prime Minister Vajpayee's government had formed the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and the Department of Development of Northeast Region to provide a sharper focus to the objective of reaching the last mile. Our government has formed the ministries of Ayush, Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Skill Development, Jal Shakti and Cooperation. Building on the success of the Aspirational Districts program, the government has recently launched the Aspirational Blocks program covering 500 blocks for saturation of essential government services across multiple domains such as health, nutrition, education, agriculture, water resources, financial inclusion, skill development and basic infrastructure. Manya Speaker Sir, Pradhan Mantri PBTG, which is Primitive Vulnerable Tribal Groups Development Mission, is being launched. To improve socio-economic conditions of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, the PBTGs as we refer them to, Pradhan Mantri PBTG Development Mission will be launched. This will saturate PBTG families and habitations with basic facilities such as safe housing, clean drinking water and sanitation, improved access to education, health, nutrition, road and telecom connectivity, and sustainable livelihood opportunities. An amount of 15,000 crores will be made available to implement the mission in the next 3 years under the Development Action Plan for the Scheduled Tribes. Ekalavya Model Residential Schools. In the next 3 years, Center will recruit 38,800 teachers and support staff for the 740 Ekalavya Model Residential Schools, which is serving 3.5 lakh tribal students. In the drought-prone central regions of Karnataka, central assistance of 5,300 crore will be given to Upper Bhadra project to provide sustainable micro irrigation and filling up of surface tanks for drinking water. PM Awas Yojana. The outlay for PM Awas Yojana is being enhanced by 66% to over 79,000 crores. Bharat Shared Repository of Inscriptions will be set up in a digital epigraphy museum with digitization of 1 lakh ancient inscriptions in the first stage. Support for poor prisoners. For poor persons who are in prisons and unable to afford the penalty or the bail amount, required financial support will be provided. Priority number 3, infrastructure and investment. Investments in infrastructure and productive capacity have a large multiplier impact on growth and employment. After the subdued period of the pandemic, private investments are growing again. The budget takes the lead once again to ramp up the virtuous cycle of investment and job creation. Honorable Speaker, sir, the capital investment outlay is being increased steeply for the 3rd year in a row by 33% to 10 lakh crores, which would be which would be 3.3% of GDP. This will almost be 3 times the outlay made in 2019-20. This substantial increase in recent years is central to the government's efforts to enhance growth potential and job creation, crowd in private investments, and provide a cushion against global headwinds. The direct capital investment by the center is complemented by the provision made for creation of capital assets through grants and aids to state. The effective capital expenditure of the center is budgeted at 13.7 lakh crore rupees, which will be 4.5% of GDP. Support to state governments for capital investment. I have decided to continue the 50-year interest-free loan to state governments for 1 more year to spur investment in infrastructure and to incentivize them for complementary policies actions with a significantly enhanced outlay of 1.3 lakh crores. The newly established Infrastructure Finance Secretariat will assist all stakeholders for more private investment in infrastructure, including railways, roads, urban infrastructure, and power, which are predominantly depend on public resources. The harmonized master list of infrastructure will be reviewed by an expert committee for recommending the classification and financing framework suitable for Amrit Kal. A capital outlay, I'm talking about railways now, sir, Honorable Speaker, railways. A capital outlay of 2.40 lakh crores has been provided for the railways. This is the highest ever outlay this highest ever outlay is about 9 times the outlay made in 2013-14. 100 critical transport infrastructure projects for last and first mile connectivity for ports, coal, steel, fertilizer and food grain sectors have been identified. They will be taken up on priority with investment of 75,000 crores, including 15,000 crore from private sources. 50 additional airports, heliports, water aerodromes, and advanced landing grounds will be revived for improving regional air connectivity. Sustainable cities for tomorrow. States and cities will be encouraged to undertake urban planning reforms and actions to transform our cities into sustainable cities of tomorrow. This means efficient use of land resources, adequate resources for urban infrastructure, transit-oriented development, enhanced availability and affordability of urban land and opportunities for all. Through property tax governance reforms and ring-fencing user charges on urban infrastructure, cities will be incentivized to improve their creditworthiness for municipal bonds. Like the RIDF, an urban infrastructure development fund will be established through use of priority sector lending shortfall. This will be managed by the National Housing Bank and will be used by public agencies to create urban infrastructure in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. States will be encouraged to leverage resources from the grants of the 15th Finance Commission as well as existing schemes to adopt appropriate user charges while accessing the UIDF. We expect to make available to make available 10,000 crore rupees per annum for this purpose. All cities and towns will be enabled for 100% mechanical desludging of septic tanks and sewers to transition from manhole to machine hole mode. Enhanced focus will be provided for scientific management of dry and wet waste. Honorable Speaker, sir, our Prime Minister had said, good governance is the key to a nation's progress. Our government is committed to providing a transparent and accountable administration which works for the betterment and welfare of common citizens. Mission Karma Yogi. Under Mission Karma Yogi, centre, states and the union territories are making and implementing capacity building plans for civil servants. The government has also launched an integrated online training platform, I Got Karma Yogi, to provide continuous learning opportunities for lakhs of government employees to upgrade their skills and facilitate people-centric approach. Sir, for enhancing ease of doing business, more than 39,000 compliances have been reduced and more than 3,400 legal provisions have been decriminalized. For furthering the trust-based governance, we have introduced the Jan Vishwas Bill to amend 42 central acts. This budget proposes a series of measures to unleash the potential of our economy. Centers of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence. For realizing the vision of Make AI in India and Make AI Work for India, 3 Centers of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence will be set up in top educational institutions. Leading industry players will partner in conducting interdisciplinary research, develop cutting-edge applications and scalable problem solutions in the areas of agriculture, health and sustainable cities. This will galvanize an effective AI ecosystem and nurture quality human resources in the field. National Data Governance Policy. To unleash innovation and research by startups and academia, a national data governance policy will be brought out. This will enable access to anonymized data. The KYC process will be simplified, adopting a risk-based instead of one-size-fits-all approach. The financial sector regulators will also be encouraged to have a KYC system fully amenable to meet the needs of digital India. One-stop solution for identity and address updating. A one-stop solution for reconciliation and updating of identity and address of individuals maintained by various government agencies, regulators and regulated entities will be established using DigiLocker service and Aadhaar as foundational identity. Speaker, sir, common business identifier. For the business establishments required to have a permanent account number, the PAN will be used as the common identifier for all digital systems of specified government agencies. This will bring ease of doing business and it will be facilitated through a legal mandate. For obviating the need for separate submission of same information to different government agencies, a system of unified filing process will be set up. Such filing of information or return in simplified forms on a common portal will be shared with other agencies as per the filer's choice. Vivad se Vishwas 1. Relief for MSMEs. In cases of failure by MSMEs to execute contracts during the COVID period, 95% of the forfeited amount relating to the bid or performance security will be returned to them by government and government undertakings. This will provide relief to the MSMEs. Vivad se Vishwas 2. Settling contractual disputes. To settle contractual disputes of government and government undertakings wherein arbitral award is under challenge in a court, a voluntary settlement scheme with standardized terms will be introduced. This will be done by offering graded settlement terms depending on pendency level of the dispute. The state support mission of Niti Aayog will be continued for 3 years for our collective efforts towards national priorities. Result-based financing. To better allocate scarce resources for competing development needs, the financing of select schemes will be changed on a pilot basis from input-based to result-based. E-courts. For efficient administration of justice, Phase 3 of e-courts project will be launched with an outlay of 7,000 crores. Fintech services in India have been facilitated by our digital public infrastructure, including Aadhaar, PM Jan Dhan Yojana, Video, KYC, India Stack, and UPI. To enable more fintech innovative services, the scope of documents available in DigiLocker for individuals will be expanded. An entity, DigiLocker, will be set up for the use by MSMEs, large businesses, and also charitable trusts. This will be towards storing and sharing documents online securely whenever needed with various authorities, regulators, banks, and other business entities. 5G services. 100 labs for developing applications using 5G services will be set up in engineering institutions. To realize a new range of opportunities, business models, and employment potential, the labs will cover, among others, applications such as smart classrooms, precision farming, intelligent transport systems, and healthcare applications. Lab-grown diamonds. Lab-grown diamonds is a technology and innovation-driven emerging sector with high employment potential. These environment-friendly diamonds, which have optically and chemically the same properties as natural diamonds. To encourage indigenous production of LGD, lab-grown diamond seeds and machines, and to reduce import dependency, a research and development grant will be provided to one of the IITs for 5 years. To reduce the cost of production, a proposal to review the custom duty on LGD seeds will be indicated in Part B of the speech. I come to the fifth priority, Honorable Speaker, sir, green growth. Honorable Prime Minister has given a vision for life or lifestyle for environment to spur a movement of environmentally conscious lifestyle. India is moving forward firmly for the Panchamrit, the net zero carbon emission by 2070 to usher in green industrial and economic transition. This budget builds on our focus on green growth. The recently launched National Green Hydrogen Mission, with an outlay of 19,700 crores, will facilitate transition of the economy to low carbon intensity, reduce dependence on fossil fuel imports, and make the country assume technology and market leadership in this sunrise sector. Our target is to reach an annual production of 5 MMT by 2030. Energy transition. This budget provides for 35,000 crores for priority capital investment towards energy transition and net zero objectives and energy security by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. To steer the economy on sustainable development path, battery energy storage systems with capacity of 4,000 MWH will be supported with viability gap funding. A detailed framework for pumped storage projects will also be formulated. Renewable energy evacuation. The interstate transmission system for evacuation and grid integration of 13 gigawatt renewable energy from Ladakh will be constructed with investment of 20,700 crore, including central support of 8,300 crores. Green credit program. For encouraging behavioral change, a green credit program will be notified under the Environment Protection Act. This will incentivize environmentally sustainable and responsive actions by companies, individuals, and local bodies, and help mobilize additional resources for such activities. PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment, and Amelioration of Mother Earth, PM Pranam, will be launched to incentivize states and union territories to promote alternative fertilizers and balanced use of chemical fertilizers. Go Bardhan Scheme. 500 new waste to wealth plants under Go Bardhan, galvanizing organic bio-agro resources done. Go Bardhan scheme will be established for promoting circular economy. These will include 200 compressed biogas plants, including 75 plants in urban areas, and 300 community or cluster-based plants at a total investment of 10,000 crores. I will refer to this in Part B also. In due course, a 5% CBG mandate will be introduced for all organizations marketing natural and biogas. For collection of biomass and distribution of biomanure, appropriate fiscal support will also be provided. Bharatiya Prakritik Kheti Bio Input Resource Centers. Over the next 3 years, we will facilitate 1 crore farmers to adopt natural farming. For this, Honorable Speaker, 10,000 bio input resource centers will be set up, creating a national level distributed micro fertilizer and pesticide manufacturing network. Mishti. Building on India's success in afforestation, mangrove initiative for shoreline habitats and tangible incomes, Mishti, will be taken up for mangrove plantation along the coastline and on salt pan lands wherever feasible through convergence between Manrega, Campa Fund and other sources. Amrit Dharohar. Wetlands are vital ecosystems which sustain biological diversity. In his latest Mann Ki Baat, the Prime Minister said, now, I quote, now the total number of Ramsar sites in our country has increased to 75, whereas before 2014 there were only 26, unquote. Local communities have always been at the forefront of conservation efforts. The government will promote their unique conservation values through Amrit Dharohar, a scheme that will be implemented over the next 3 years to encourage optimal use of wetlands and enhance biodiversity, carbon stock, ecotourism opportunities and income generation for local communities. Coastal shipping. Coastal shipping will be promoted as an energy efficient and lower cost mode of transport, both for passengers and freight, through PPP mode with viability gap funding. Vehicle replacement. Vehicle replacement is an important continuing policy, replacing the old political, replacing, absolutely, thank you, replacing old polluting vehicles, may be applicable, right? Replacing old polluting vehicles is an important part of greening our economy. In furtherance of the vehicle scrapping policy mentioned in Budget 21-22, I have allocated adequate funds to scrap old vehicles of the central government. States will also be supported in replacing old vehicles and old state ambulances. Honorable Speaker, sir, I move to priority 6, youth power. To empower our youth and help the Amrit PD